think the lips look like, I don't care if you read Abibifahodie, they came before Columbus. All that gotta be updated because DNA, genome, haplogroups is the new science of history. Right? Not what you think, not what you wish, not what you believe, right? But science. Got you.
African Americans ain't Indians.
Oh no.
Ankh the God killer. Tdka Kilimanjaro. Asar, Imhotep. Got Mfundishi over here.
All you gotta do is look at the Trail of Tears and see it was the Africans.
Brother Afrikanus.
Those trailers for those Indians. All you gotta do is look at the Native Americans that fought in the Confederate Army for the slave trade. Got you. Do your research. Stop lying to your people. We got you.
They don't like it. They ain't gonna like it. I came in on the tail end of the conversation. Brother Reggie, say peace.
Hey, peace, family. How y'all doing?
I got you live.
The Raising Awareness group right here. This was a great think tank with some of the best top scholars and young people engaged in this intellectual warfare. Y'all just watch those little debate things and things like that. That's the playground. This is where it really happens, where we really get together to formulate strategies and build,
yes, sir,
right? And do intellectual warfare.
Yes, sir.
So I'm just so happy to be here among so many great people, Brother Khuf, just so many. The Amaran squad is here.
Yes, sir.
Right? The Kilimanjaro family is here, right? Man, you got Brother Sonjedi here, man. You got Mzee here. You got so many great Mfundishi, Jhutyms here, right? Man,
Brother Sonjedi.
Hey, peace. Imhotep, Lafia, Aakhu, Jacinel. All right, we just got finished with like a dynamic event here, sponsored by the Raising Awareness Group, honoring the ancestors and restoring mind in the African community. It was powerful. It was very dense and very straight to the point. So we have a lot of heavy hitters here, and it's just a family environment. This is what we need more of.
Yes,
different
sir.
groups coming together and networking.
Yes, sir.
That's what it's all about.
That's what I keep saying. It's about different groups coming together and building and tackling our issues in our community. You know what I mean? Through means of scholarship, education, economics, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? But this is what we need to be doing more in every city around the country.
Come on this side. Come on. You got it on that side.
I got y'all live.
Yeah. So what you're saying is absolutely true. And these are think tanks. These are some of the best young minds right here. This is the future scholars, right? Mm-hmm. And I was there, and I seen the greats. I seen Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark in their prime, right? I seen Dr. Asa Hilliard, who's an ancestor. Dr. Jacob Carruthers, right? Mm-hmm. And guess what? All of them brothers would have loved to meet these young brothers right here, right?
No doubt.
Because this is why they did that work, right? And now the time is here, and people rising to the occasion.
We just got to continue to work. We got to continue to work, so we got to keep pushing.
And work is hard.
Yeah, we take, their works, we upgrade them. Yeah. Okay, and take it to the next level. So they left a blueprint for us, and then we take it from there. All right, we pass the time.
No doubt.
We take it.
Just like that's the same thing all Nosut biddies did. Right? All leaders in Nile Valley, they take the work of their ancestors. They don't always have to praise their ancestors. They become their ancestors and do the work better, right? Because it's about the people. It's not about the names.
No doubt. I always say that all the time. It's not about names. It's about people.
And those people who are into like personality worship. Let me tell you something about the Nosut, right? Nosut had about 6 years to do the job. Right? If they didn't do the job, they went to the afterlife. They took the berry juice, right? See, that was how extreme leadership was in the Nile Valley culture, right? Except for a few. Peace.
No doubt. Peace. I am Mfundishi. Can I get a few words? I got you live on Facebook. Grand Seba, Mfundishi, Jhutyms, Salim. Go ahead, brother.
But it was just a fantastic event. It was good. This is what I call operational unity.
Yes,
That's
sir.
all the different groups coming together, speaking as one, supporting each other. This is what we did in ancient Kemet. This is how we began to revive ourselves. We can't separate the elders from the youth and from the other groups. We all got to work together. And yet you see this great respect for the elders. This has to happen, has to continue. This is the beginning of a resurrection, a rebirth.
Yes.
So we had to be a part of it.
Dua. Thank you.
When they formed Israel, people were speaking Yiddish. They weren't speaking Hebrew. They had to resurrect their language. They went back and they said, okay, we might have lost what this sound is, but from now on, this sound will be this. And they had a consensus, and then they went forth. So they reconstructed their language. All those European Jews were not speaking the same language. It's just that Reggie is trying to put together a format similar to what the European Jews did for them. We can do that for ourselves. So we know the glyphs, we know the language. Many of us understand the culture. Some of us are more experts in the phonetic version. We need to all come together and we resurrect the language, and then we implement it into every community, every school.
Okay.
We produce the books. We don't let nobody else produce the books. We produce the books, we produce the teachers, and we send them on missions. Just like they did missionaries to mess over us, we have to send missionaries out to revive ourselves. And that's what was part of the Kemetic temple. The priests just didn't stay in the temple. When the priests learned their stuff, their job was to go into the village. And they taught the farmers' children. And they taught the artisans' children. And they got fed, and they got, work. So we need to be able to do that too.
No doubt.
Now, you mentioned that in a week or two, if I understood correctly in terms of the timeline, you'll be releasing a new book.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that book and what inspired you to write it and focus on that particular subject.
The book is called Mentuhotep in the Spirit of the Magi. And see, we talk about, like my first book, well, not my first book, my last book, Spiritual Warriors or Healers, talked about to be a spiritual warrior means to resurrect your soul, it means to resurrect your culture and your spirituality and be able to defend it. Okay. Now we need to see what is that initiation like? Because I see Christian churches going through initiation into Jesus. That ain't helping you resurrect yourself. So it has to be about divinity. And so I wanted to show Mentuhotep, who the Europeans hardly write nothing about. They only say, oh, he kind of quasi the founder of the 11th dynasty, and then they move on. But that's to show the glory behind this brother. He's connected to 5. His parents, his grandparents, and his great-grandparents founded Waset. And that was the capital after the 6th dynasty had fallen. After Pepe, the second Pepe, ruled for 97 years and it was a collapse of government. Within 30 years after that, in Waset, this new Kushites rose up. Mentuhotep is the results of that. And then the book shows you how he went through initiation to become the ruler, and the patience, and the philosophy. So there's a lot of philosophy and poems and things inside of there, that people can tap into, building blocks. And then volume 2 comes out in December.
Nice.
You see also, people are writing these warrior epics who are not warriors. So, I'm a grandmaster in the martial arts, 6-time national champion. I'm writing about what it is to be a warrior, and I'm putting it in the book.
No doubt.
Excellent. And speaking of warrior ship, so to speak, you spoke in your lecture about, building, but also building with defense. Can you elaborate just a little bit more on that and its importance and
Whenever
what we're
you're
doing?
creating a nation, the first thing you have to do is put together governance. So you put down your laws and your governance. And that's centered around your culture and your spirit. But as you can't say these are the laws and you can't enforce them.
Exactly.
So as soon as you build the governance and the laws, you have to have a military or defense force to be able to secure those laws or carry them out. So that's what I was making reference to. We're talking about nation building, and we're not talking about defending the nation. So therefore, the Europeans can just come in anytime they want to bum rush us. No, that day should be in. When they come in, we got guns, they got guns. They got bombs, we got bombs. You know, they got guerrilla warfare, we got. No, they don't even have guerrilla warfare. We got guerrilla warfare. Okay, we know the streets and the cities. They don't know it. You know, there's no. You can have 2 police control the whole neighborhood, and we're supposed to be bad. They should be scared. The police should be scared to come into our neighborhood with some nonsense.
That's true.
You know, so I think that is approaching. And that's why Obama just passed a law, I mean, he just signed a contract that the military now can kill civilians. The Marines, it used to be only the National Guards for emergency. But now, why would you have a bill like that? Why would you have the so that the Marines could come in and shoot? Because you're planning on doing something to us.
Exactly.
And we're not even prepared. So I make all my students, we got to review and see the spook who sat by the door. We got to see that picture 2 or 3 times, and we got to upgrade that. But he left us a blueprint.
Excellent. Anybody else got a question?
Last question. I'm big on this. And you mentioned, you talked about the fox and the rabbit.
Yes.
Why is it so important to understand your history, right, from an African standpoint? Why is that?
Because you're seeing it from an African center. You're seeing it through your eyes, not through your European eyes. Like even African studies now, it's still through Europeans' eyes, and we just got an Afrocentric twist to it. No, it has to be from your center. What was important for you? Who were you before 1492? Who were you before 1619? Who were you? And actually, who were you before Kemet unified Upper and Lower Kemet? See, that's why I say Kemet is the mouthpiece of Africa. So they need to see that we have been glorious warriors, but we are the only warriors that have Ma'at.
Yeah.
We have to understand that when your enemy don't have Ma'at in his heart, you have to treat him differently.
No doubt.
Well, I'm good. Hey, I'm a close on that.
Very good.
Appreciate it.
In terms of the content, there's so much learn, share that we're trying to take notes as we could. As Tdka said, several folks spoke about not as an abstract principle, but in the ways that that the various principles of Ma'at show up or can show up in our work and in our lives. Ways to reframe and look at history in a way that we are, well, the importance of us doing this work, and in so doing, then we humanize and make real the realities and the history as it has unfolded to us. As we know, so much is misunderstood, mistold, and is actually missing from where the history unfolded. So there's so much. There was one person Mfundishi, who drew together a lot of material and spiritual principles. So drawing those connections, so much. There's a reminder of the importance that we do our own work. And that we bring science into our work and not be afraid of it, not shy away from it. There's just a lot that was done beautifully in unity. So often science and spirit are seen as very different opposites and disconnected from one another. But there are folks who drew together those, we would call them unities. They're elements of the opposites within a unity. And it's important to continue to move through and understand, deepen our understanding of that understanding that all of this is interconnected. But what are the things that we can draw from that can help us advance, will turn the tides of history and advance and bring into life at some point the vision that we have that values our humanity, that values our lives. I could go on and on. I'm just grateful for the folks who pulled this together.
It's great.
Yes.
Can I ask one question? How does it feel to develop a line of books that has brought everybody together, the whole community together? How does that feel? That's, you know, I know the Under Raw Squad was looking for some books. You know, we've used them as the weapons, you know, just to upgrade and the concept upgrade. So how does it feel to produce a work that has brought the community together?
Oh, it's humbling. because I have to say that the work, it was going to happen whether anyone picked up a book or not.
Queen got to get in there.
Super scholar.
Because yeah, so I think there was something that Tdka said, and I wrote down the quote. I don't remember it, but it's almost like whether you finish it in this lifetime or not, or whether anybody will be able to pick it up in this lifetime or not. This drive to get this work done was the thing that kept us moving. And so that anyone, I mean, and then we saw it as a contribution to the hope that, and the expectation and the knowledge that other people will continue to contribute. So it's not like we're putting, we put these out like it's going to be the leading this or that, but rather that it's a contribution to a body of work that can help, that Black folks can draw from, that we can use to advance our struggles or civilization or rebuilding and all of that.
And we thank you.
Yeah, we thank you, no doubt about it.
No spook books.
No spookism. No spookism. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you for your work.
Appreciate you. Be interested in that. I mean, okay, I appreciate you.
I don't want to still talking like this.
Brother Tdka. All right. Thanks again, man.
All right, my brother. I'll be in touch. Appreciate that.
I wish I could. If I had